But what? Look, man. Hey, I'm here. I hope you finally made it. I'm jumping into this, man, because this shit is for real. Real talk. Real talk. Late night. Discover the message. Truth. Find out what's happening right now on your dials. The question is, can nature save a sick society? Can nature save a sick society? We are going to ask that question tonight. Can nature save a sick society? You know who can't save society? Man cannot save society because man is sick himself. Man is so sick. So sick that everything man does, everything man touches, he turns into a health problem. Why is that? Because man is out of touch with his human side. Man is out of touch with his nature, his natural side. And here's the thing. Some of you ain't going to want to hear this, but I'm going to speak it in divine facts right now. Only those who are not natural beings to the planet, only those who are not, listen, only a person who is ignorant and lacks consciousness of their natural connection to nature is a destroyer of nature. Only someone who lacks connection and consciousness to his natural side. So that means that they who create the sick problems in society is they who are not natural born beings. Natural beings to the planet. They who cannot tap deep into the energies of the planet, because the planet has been coded with specific information. But those of us, so that we as natural beings, hear me out, watch this. Natural beings that are natural to the planet are only able to open up channels within themselves that unlock divine information. When you are tapped into your natural side, you are really tapped into your spiritual side. When you are tapped into your natural side, you are tapped into your spiritual side, because it is through nature do you connect back to the source. Do you connect back to your spirit? Do you connect back to your divine essence? It is only through nature can you connect back to that essence of who you are. And those who destroyed the planet, those who destroyed nature, those who cannot hear, see, sense, feel from nature, who are out of alignment with nature, are those who are not natural. If you was natural, you would hear. But because you can't hear, tells me you're not natural. And it's not a change in your diet. It's not going to be a change in your meal plan. It's not going to be, if all it is to just tap back into nature, I must just go ahead and eat natural again. No. There is just certain things that you and I and certain other people cannot do. There are certain things that I can do that certain other people can't do naturally. And because you can't do it, certain people can't do what I can do naturally when it comes to nature, then you alter nature for your survival. You alter nature for your survival. Can nature save a sick society? Nature can save those who are in touch with nature. Nature can save those who are in alignment, hearing from nature. Nature cannot save those, will not save those, cannot save those who are not natural to the earth. If you are not natural to the earth, then you are genetically a modified organism, a cancer, if you will. You are a cancer to society. You are unnatural to society. You are unnatural. You are born out of the toxicity in the infestation of bacteria collected and coagulated till it becomes a living organism. And that's what happened to some beings on the planet. They became living manifestations of toxic bacteria, infection. An infection. When you have an infection is an invasion of the natural environment. When you get an infection because you left a wound open too long, when you get an infection, that is an invasion. That means that said organism has invaded the space with toxic cell-killing bacteria, forming bacteria. So when you are not living natural, you are a sick being. This is what you are, a very sick being. Because you don't heal or aid the earth to heal. You don't aid the planet. You don't become one with it. You become one against it. And because you become one against it, says that you cannot survive in nature, in a natural environment. Because you're not a natural being. You're not a natural being. We come here to live in harmony with the planet. The reason why we exist is because we were in a vibration with the planet. Those who are natural came here through the existence because of vibration. Just like an apple seed births an apple. An apple seed births an apple, but the apple is not in the seed. The apple is not in the seed. The apple is in the consciousness of the planet. The apple is in the consciousness of nature. The apple is in the consciousness of spirit. The apple is born already of spirit. And then the seed gets planted. The seed is just the code. The seed is just the information saying, this is what I desire to bring forth. So when you plant the apple seed, out of the universe births an apple. From that apple, you get what is called energy. That before the apple came, energy was in harmony and in alignment with all of the natural elements of the planet. That causes a vibration. So the vibration begins to bring forth, or I would say the vibration brings force. Force. It forces it into the atmosphere. The vibration, because of the energy from the seed being planted in the earth, the universe picks up on that signal and says, this is what is being asked to come forth. And so out of the earth comes forth through force an apple. Now this apple is a manifestation of energy aligning, harmonizing, being one with the planet. Spirit picks up on that information, that code, and it brings it through. When it brings that information through, you have an apple. You have an apple. The apple is a representation of energy harmonizing with spirit, being aligned with all things from the elements of the planet, and the planet conspires to create that apple. Now, because that apple manifested in the natural realm, it came through a vibrational field. It came through vibration. So your apple vibrates here. Natural people vibrate here. Vibrate. And those who are not natural came through because there was a misalignment. And so when there's misalignment, when things are out of alignment, because you are a natural being, and when you forget to live in harmony with the planet, you become out of alignment. When you become out of alignment, you are vibrating as well too, but on a sick level. So you begin to vibrate because the energy of your out of alignment, your chastisement, your discipline, for the lack of a better term, the ass whooping you get, the ass whooping that you get is sickness because you are out of alignment. And so now you got a dis-ease that comes in that is going to whoop your ass because of you being out of alignment. Now, when you are out of alignment, you are also vibrating on another level, but you are vibrating on a low level. This is where cancer cells come from, because you vibrate so low. You vibrate so low on a low level that when you are vibrating on a dense level, when you are vibrating on the lowest form, the dense level, when you vibrate on the dense level, you are creating a physical form of sickness and dis-ease. So now we can look under a microscope and we can see the living organism of an infection. Because the body vibrated so low that it physically created an infection, a living organism. So we could take those living organisms and look at them under a microscope and see that you have manifested sickness. Because you're a sick being. When you are out of alignment with the planet, when you are out of tune, and you're not harmonizing with the earth, with the energies of the planet, when you're not in harmonized, when you're not in harmony with the earth energy and the vibration of the earth, the planet, you are vibrating on a low density level. So low, so dense, so heavy that you start to turn inside out. You start to turn inside out because you're vibrating so low. You're vibrating so low that your inside become exposed. And so when you are out of alignment, your insides became exposed. There was a weakness, of a chink in your armor, a vulnerability. There was a vulnerability moment that got wide open. And this ease comes in. And this ease takes over now the mental state. And then it takes over the emotional state. So now you're thinking, feeling very low, depressed, full of trauma. And all you keep doing is sinking further deeper into the dense realm until you create a living manifestation of a microbiome sickness. And then from that sickness that you've manifested comes infection. Now, when you are out of alignment, when you are out of tune with the planet, with nature, you leave yourself vulnerable. You're open now and you're exposed to the elements. When you get exposed to the elements because of your vulnerability, because you're out of alignment, which leaves you vulnerable and open, and because you're vulnerable and open, you're exposed to the elements. And now that you're exposed to the elements, this is why you put a Band-Aid over a scar. You put a Band-Aid over a scar so that it is not exposed to the elements. Why? Because you can get infection. And so when you're out of alignment and out of tune with the planet, you become an exposed wound. And because you are an exposed wound, you get infected. And from that vulnerability and exposure, you've allowed a weaker part of yourself. You've allowed a weaker part of yourself to manifest forth from that. And so now we have sick beings running the planet. Because that's what an infection does. It takes over the host. An infection takes over the host. And so the infection on the planet has taken over the host of the planet. And right now, nature has called for us, natural beings, to return back to a natural way of living as our ancestors once taught us, showed us, and continues to speak to us in spirit. It is now time for the natural beings who are living awake, conscious, and aware of what's happening. We must depart from the cancer cell. We must separate from the sickness of the disease on the planet. And the only way to heal a sick body, the only way to heal a sick host is not by medicating it. Medicating it only masks the host. Medicating it only masks the infection until it fully just takes you out. That's what they do with the medication. The medication isn't to heal anything. The medication is to subside the pain until you just eventually are no longer here. That's what an infection does. Their job is to not heal you. Their job is to parade around inside of you pretending like they really got your best interest at heart. But the truth is, they really are here faking you out, saying, here, take this pill. But the truth is, we're giving you the sleight of hand. We're telling you this is for your good, but it's not for your good. Because our job is to take you out. Because they cannot survive in a natural environment alone. So they need a host. And so you continue to be the host for them because you keep perpetuating the sick cycle of living that they offer us. Eating the food that they offer, living the lifestyle that they tell you to live, doing the work that they tell you to do. You are a slave to the infection. You are a slave to the insurrection of the cancer cells going on the planet, living within the planet. You are a slave to the insurrection of the cancerous society that has taken over the planet for the natural beings. The natural beings, the only way to heal a sick body is to starve the infection. You must not feed it any longer. Stop feeding the infection. Stop feeding sick cells sick food. You must starve it of its food, of its source. You must starve it of its survival. It survives off of sickness. And so you must stop feeding it things that continue to keep it growing, keep it going. You must starve this sickness that you continue to perpetuate. And you are so blinded because you believe this theology. You believe the doctrines. You believe the news. You believe the educational institutions. You believe their teachers and philosophers. You believe everything they say, disregarding what your natural sense of being is telling you to do. Disregarding. And so now your pineal gland, this is why you are afraid of even doing simple things like meditation. This is why you're afraid of meditation, because it's going to reveal truth to you. If you meditated, you would get some truth revealed to you. But you are afraid to even do that because you're afraid knowing that the truth will be revealed. And so meditation, which is the first law of holistic, you should be knowing how to do this so that you can tap back into the way to see. But you can't see because you're a slave to the insurrection of the infection. You cannot see. And because you cannot see, you're going to continue to be a pawn on the chessboard. You're going to continue to be a pawn on the chessboard of their game. Continuously perpetuating the sickness, pushing the doctrine, the philosophies, pushing the religion, pushing all of the messages the media outlet put out there for you, continuously pushing these narratives, believing just because they said it, we must do it. When are we going to wake up for real? And I really mean, when are we going to wake up on our own? Not from me telling you to wake up, not from someone else telling you to wake up, but when are you going to decide to say, you know what? At least let me give the other side a chance. Let me be open-minded and at least check this information out just for myself to be sure that I am either on or not on the right path. When are you going to wake up yourself and say, you know what? Maybe I do need to journey over here and just see what it's about. But you're so closed-minded. And this is what the sick disease infection that took over your body wants you to do. It continues to want you to be blinded. No, don't kill me. Don't kill me. Is what the infection is saying to you. Continue to just listen to us and continue to do what we say do. You understand? And so the only way to get rid of the infection in the body is to castigate it. You know what it means to castigate? It means to cut off. You must cut off. You must castigate the infection. You must cut it off. There is no other way. There is no, oh, let me walk over here, tiptoe over here. Let me do a little bit this, a little bit. You must castigate that. You must cut it off. You must say, no more am I going to listen. No more am I going to do. No more am I going to hear. No more am I going to speak the language of my infection, of my oppressor, of my dis-ease. I'm not going to listen to the dis-ease part of me. I'm going to listen to my intuitive nature. The part of me that's tapped into nature. So nature has the power and the ability to save the beings who came here naturally. Only the beings who came here naturally. Everybody else are just infections and you the host. But nature can only save those who are natural. Because those who are not natural cannot be saved because they're not natural. And we don't want to put people on this level, do we? We don't want to be like, oh, why you got to put a certain group of people on this level and degrade a certain group of people. I'm not degrading. This is science, beloved. This is just science. This is science. Even their own scientists have proven what I'm saying to you. Even their own scientists proves what I'm saying to you about nature. Their own scientist proves this, tells you, shares with you, but maybe you need to go hear it from them. You don't want to hear it from me. You don't want to hear it from some irate, yelling, this think he know it all somebody. No, I think I know it all. I'm irate. I'm just yelling through the microphone. I ain't really saying much. I ain't really saying much. I'm not irate. I know you want to think I'm irate. I know you want to think I'm irate. But I'm not irate. You got to get out of the sick society in order to survive it. And the only way to do that is, yes, nature. I live in America right now. We don't live in a country that has a desire to preserve a natural environment for me and you and our children going forth. They have a desire to continue to urbanize this country, and they will do it. And they will succeed at doing it until, as I said before, every major place on this planet looks like a metropolis in New York City. And you ain't going to have nowhere to go. You ain't going to have nowhere to go on this planet to be one with nature, to live your best life. You're not going to have clean air to breathe. You're not going to have pure food to eat. You're not going to have pure water to drink. You're not going to have any of that. What you are going to have is a very sick society. Nature can only save the natural beings. But nature cannot save a sick society, because the society is sick and wants to be sick. So nature is not going to save it. Nature is not going to save the sick society. And anybody that's desiring to stay and live in this sick society, guess what? You will be swallowed up whole by this sick society. The only way to stop the infection from growing is to stop giving it what it needs to survive. So you must cut it off. If it's food that continues to make you sick, cut it off. Certain food that makes you sick. If it's the environment you live in that makes you sick, cut it off. There is no survival within it. There is no survival within a sick society. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. There is no survival within a sick society, because the sick society doesn't want to heal itself. You have to starve the infection. Stop it from growing. So you got to separate yourself from that, whatever you are feeding it to grow. Whatever you are feeding this infection to grow, you must starve it of that. And you got to get back to a natural environment. An environment that's healthy, pure, natural. And you got to stay there. You got to surround yourself with it. Every day, you must wake up and seek to go to some part, some form of nature. And guess what? Even if you cannot actually go to it, you must acquire it within your environment. You must acquire it within your environment. If you can't go outdoors to nature, you must bring nature indoors. You must bring the environment within. Because you remember, your biosphere creates your atmosphere. And you must create your atmosphere from your biosphere. You must begin. If you cannot go outdoors to nature, you must bring nature within. You must bring it within through your foods. You must bring it within through your botanical gardens in your home. And you also must bring it in through your mind. If you cannot get to nature every day, it has to be on your mind though. Because if it's on your mind, then you create an environment. You must practice getting this on your mind. And that's why I preach the 5 laws of holistics: meditation, fitness, nature, nutrition, arts. You must understand that this is the only way to heal your holistic self. Your spirit man, your emotional man, your biological man, your physiological man, your mental man. This is the only way to heal your holistic self. This is the only way to well-being. There is no other way to get to be a well-being. You can't tell me another way. Tell me another way you can tap into getting to becoming a well-being in society. Give me one way that you can tap into that. There is no other way. You can only do it through spirit, mental, emotional, biological, physiological. You can only do it through those 5 internal states of your being. That's the only way you can do it. And the only way you can make those beings well is through the 5 laws of holistics. That is meditation, nature, nutrition, arts, and fitness. Emotional and mental fitness, not physical exercise. So if you tap back into making yourself well, you want to become a well-being, you must know how to feed the 5 internal states of your being through the 5 holistic laws that I teach. And you're not going to get there no other way. I'm waiting on you to tell me what way can you do it. Give me a way. Look around you. Show me outside of yourself. Where can you tap back into making yourself a well-being? Give me one way. Name me one outside of the 5 I told you. Name me one. Just one outside of what I've laid out for you. There is no other way. There is no other way. The only way to heal your holistic self is through those 5 laws I teach. And I'm telling you this for a reason. Practicing these laws, and I'm not saying you need to go practice them, but I'm telling you that these are the ways you do it. Give me another way, I'll wait. I don't know of another way. There is no other way, that's why. If you want to heal, your holistic self, I lay out for you these 5 laws. That's the only way nature can save a sick society. If everybody begins to tap back into these, if everybody begins to practice these laws, then they would save and wake up their eternal senses. But they would never wake those eternal senses up. They would never be able to activate, transcend the information and knowledge to ascend beyond this world, beyond this realm. You would never be able to activate because you're not taking action on those things. Taking action is activating. Study the laws. Study the laws. And become one with your natural self. You want to get rid of the cancer cell? Guarantee you, empower your mind through meditation. You'll get rid of the cancer cell. Empower your mind, empower your being, your biology through nutrition. You'll get rid of the cancer cell. Empower your physiological body through the arts. You'll get rid of the cancer cell through that expression. That's power. There's power in expression through the arts. In dance and music and poetry and writing and singing and painting. There's power. It speaks to the physiological man that's within you. You want to get rid of the cancer cell? Practice fitness, emotional and mental fitness. Those 2 things alone will help your emotional and mental state because you're communicating positive feedback within your being, reprogramming and coding yourself with new information. In your emotional self and your mental self, programming your mind, programming your thoughts vis-a-vis the way you feel. You want to get back to your spirit nature? Tap into your biology. Eat natural and organic. As I said, nature taps us back into our spirit. Through the practice of nature, do we channel, portal through, activate, recode our biology, which only makes us light beings, which gets us closer to which brings us to our higher selves and brings us to our spirit nature, which makes everything God, working as God. The great harmonious alignment of the divine. Let's go back to the beginning of this video. And what did I say? The reason why you're sick is because you're out of alignment. You're not in harmony with the way the planet operates. But when you tap back into nature, you tap back into your biology, which taps into your higher self, your purpose, taps into, it brings you into God. Because you tap back into nature, it brings you to God. It brings everything back into harmonious alignment. And it brings you to your great divinity, your most powerful divine self, where all knowledge is already there. All knowledge is already imputed. All knowledge is already infused within you. It's already there. And you can activate this knowledge when you tap back into your eternal state, your 5 eternal states, through the practice of the 5 holistic laws. Okay? I love you. I love me. I love us. Be well, be loved, and be light, beloved. And always remember to live from the soul, because that's the only way to live. It's from the soul. Ashe.